the people sing, singing the song of angry men. It is the music of a people who will not be slaves again. When the beating of your heart echoes the beating of the drums, there is a life about to start when tomorrow comes. Will you join in our crusade? Who will be strong and stand with me beyond the barricade?
Hello there. Here we are again with our community chats, first time in 2021. I'm here with Kathy Whyte.
Hi.
And we're going to talk about a few things about the New Horizons band and what makes Kathy tick. My name's Sue Carter, and I've been running this little program for a few months. So, off with Kathy. So how long have you been involved with New Horizons, Kathy?
I started about 5 years ago. The band, I think, started in the August. I came and started the next calendar year in the February. It's more or less since it started. So
wow.
That's all, about 5 years. About 5 years ago.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Nearly a foundation member.
Nearly, not quite. Nearly there.
So how did you hear about the band?
Oh, our beautiful, yummy Jenny Williams. She's our conductor. She was the one who actually, over the years, her and I have kept in contact because she was the conductor of my kids' school band. So I've known Jenny, my kids are now mid-20s, so I've known, and my kids were primary school age. She was a conductor then. And on and off, you'd see her throughout the Shire, Sutherland Shire and other places like that. And I bumped into her for coffee one day. And I said, I'm learning the euphonium. This was out before the band.
Right.
I met her for coffee, and then a couple of months later, she rang me and said, listen, I'm getting this band together. You should come. I've gone, but. No, you should come.
Oh, right.
As beautiful Jenny does. She conned me into coming, and it's been the best thing.
Yes.
It's been the best thing. So, yeah.
So you've came from an old friendship, an original friendship.
More,
Fantastic.
through Jenny.
Right.
So, and Jenny has this wonderful way of dragging people together.
Encouraging you in one way
in a
or another.
wonderful way.
So what instrument do you play?
I play a euphonium. I get mixed reactions about that.
Right.
You play what? Or you go, what's a euphonium? But it's okay in our band because people know what it is. But when I tell people on the outside world, what do you play? And I told them and they have got no idea. And then I say, it's like a mini tuba.
Yeah.
And they go, okay.
Right.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Oh, it's fairly unique. How many euphoniums in the band?
Oh, I think in band 3, I think there's, three?
Oh, really?
3 of us.
Oh, wow.
Same in band 2, I think there's 3 or 4 of us. So.
Oh, well, you've got a little team up the back
yes.
there, in the back row.
Oh, no, and we're all old ladies. I think that's very impressive. We're not on the flute, but we're on the euphonium and going, yeah, girl power.
So what, you played that about for 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, I didn't know how to play the euphonium before that. So it's been fab. Well, I've been a bit prone to brass anyway. Because when my daughter was in the primary school band and Jenny was a conductor, my daughter actually played the euphonium.
Oh, right.
And my son, who's 2 years younger, when he was in Jenny's band also, he was on the trombone.
Oh, right.
When the school, this is after Jenny left, but the school program, but the school actually sold the instruments. So I said I went and bought them off the school.
Right.
Quite cheaply, I suppose. So I had a euphonium and a trombone here.
You're ready to roll.
And when my son left high school, my youngest child left high school, I thought, okay, time for me. What am I going to do? And that's when I thought, well, I've got a euphonium and trombone downstairs. Let's just pick one. And I actually took a while to try and find a lower brass tutor.
Right.
But I found one, and she was another female. She actually did a Bachelor of Music, majoring in euphonium, some major of trombone. A bit like Jo, but this is a different lady.
Right.
So I was having lessons with her, but it wasn't until I started the band where I was having lessons with her and playing the band, and I put the two together and I'm going, oh wow, now this all makes sense and we can work on the music. And yeah, it did accelerate my music back then. Unfortunately, I don't have lessons with her anymore, but I'm still with a band, and yeah, it's just So that's how I got onto the euphonium.
Right.
Because actually, when I spoke to this lady, I said, I've got a trombone and a euphonium at home. Which one I'll learn? She goes, euphonium's easier. I said, great,
answer.
that's me.
Yes.
So hence, that's why I started on the euphonium.
Right.
And it was a brass instrument, so I was happy with that.
Wow. Well, now the band classes have changed. You could do the trombone in the training group.
Easily.
Yes.
Yeah, easily.
Yes, I can slip
But
over
I
to
remember
that.
how frustrating it was in the first 1 or 2 years.
Right.
Learning and trying to pitch and know where and trombones would. You can imagine
Yes.
trying to work out where the positions
Yes.
are. That'd be the hard part.
And is
I
it
think.
the same mouth movement?
Yeah.
Oh, right. So
Yeah.
there wouldn't be any change there. It's
No.
It's a not
Yeah,
a.
yeah, yes.
Okay.
I'm still blowing raspberries. It's all right.
And did you play as a child?
I did. My mum made my brothers and I learn for 1 year. My older brother and I continued learning.
Right.
So I suppose I learnt for a few years probably into my early teens. I played as a child. My mum made us, and my younger brother said, "I'm learning this," and he was counting down the days till he could
really?
get out. He just didn't want to do it anymore.
Right.
But my grandmother was a piano teacher, so consequently, my mum played, and it just. We knew I suppose we knew no different because it was in the family anyway, and we just continued to play,
Yes.
and music was always there.
How valuable that you persevered with that. No, you can read music and
Yeah.
you know what Jenny talks about when she mentions various phrases or
Yeah.
Italian moves and things. So,
Yeah.
yes.
So you're right, some of that is like staccatos or the loud and the soft and all that sort of stuff. There's still terminology she uses now. I'm going, oh, what's that? And I'm going, I forgot what that was. But
Yes.
but generally, yeah, you're right. Generally speaking,
You just have to
that
go
was
ahead.
an advantage.
Right.
Because it's bad enough learning a new instrument, let alone learning how to read music as well.
Yes, that's a real challenge.
Completely,
Yeah.
completely. So
Yes.
I admire those people who've started the band and who don't know how to read music and who don't know how to play the instrument.
Yes.
I admire them
Yes.
completely.
Yes, and getting to the habit of counting too, that's the other thing that Lisa's always saying, you've got to count to. I said, well, I'm trying. And I find the brain is so switched on finding the keys and the accents, etc., that counting just leaves me for dead. But it's getting more and more important now.
Or getting loud and soft.
Yeah.
Well, didn't you see the F? Nope. What you worry about what note I was playing?
I saw the only F I saw was on the line. Yes, indeed. So what does music mean to you?
Music is so influential in people's lives, whether they like it or not. I'm not going to say it's everything because there are other things that are just as important. But I just know if I don't listen to or hear music for a while and then I play it, I go, yeah, I miss music.
Yeah.
I miss music. And actually, I've discovered YouTube on the phone. I'm a bit slow on this stuff. But like an artist like Adele, she hasn't produced something for a couple of years, but my daughter and I flew to Melbourne a few years ago to watch Adele's concert.
Right.
But I haven't listened. She hasn't come out with much lately. So something came up on my phone. I thought, I'll play it. I'm going, I miss her.
Yes.
Or miss not listening to her. Or if your artist you haven't heard for a while comes on and you're going, oh, wow, I miss that.
Yes.
And whether you start singing or it puts you in a happy mood or... Yeah.
I think that's the thing, it works on your emotions. So, what's your favourite musical experience with the band?
I love camp tour. That in itself, socialising with everybody once even and particularly in the last year that we've had, where we haven't been able to get together,
Right.
going away as we are in a couple of weeks. I'm so excited.
Yes, so am I.
I'm just so excited.
And I think the coffee club too that they have on Thursdays in that middle slot, the vibe up there was amazing. I think everyone was getting back together again. And
Well, I go to Ben too, and I'm a bit green envious. I miss out on that because they've changed the time slot, and I missed out on coffee now or lunch because we finished too early.
finished too early. Yes. I
But-
think there'll be more people in band too next term. I'm hoping to slip into that. So
What are you going to pick up?
I'm going on saxophone now.
So I suppose it's still the reed, isn't it?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
So it's still the same embouchure. So I've got Lisa lined up, and she'll give me some lessons, get me on the right way, so I don't learn any bad habits. So that's
Yeah.
I've already logged in with Joe, so hopefully I can slip into that group.
Good.
Yeah, so
Good.
that'll be fun. So what about your experiences outside of the band?
Musicals outside the band. I love going to musicals.
Right.
Musical theatre. Living in New York and London back in 30 odd years ago, we were exposed to many musical things, musical experiences, even plays or symphonies, but in particularly musical theatre. I love musical theatre. I was exposed to it a bit before we went overseas, once again in the late 80s. I love Les Mis, that's my favourite. But I like going to new ones that I haven't seen before.
Oh, good for you.
As I was saying earlier on, I went to Come From Away in London about 2 years ago. I knew vaguely the storyline, but when I went and took myself to it, it stunned the hell out of me of how great it was.
Yeah.
Another one I actually saw in Melbourne a few years ago was Kinky Boots
Oh, right.
in Melbourne.
Oh, well, you would have seen my son then as well.
I didn't know your son was in it.
Yes, he was the manager.
Okay.
Yes.
I didn't know.
Wasn't it a fabulous show though?
Brilliant.
Just the message behind that is just amazing. Do you have a favourite music, which obviously musical theatre or performer?
As I said before, I love Les Mis. That's my go-to one. But it's funny enough, when listening to music in a car, my car's over 10 years old, so I've got a 6-stack of CD in my player room. I don't have Bluetooth.
Right.
So I have a multitude of interesting of what my music's
Right.
in there, but one of my discs is in there is the soundtrack of Wicked.
Oh, right, yep.
Because... So we're still back to musical
No,
theatre
no,
again.
that's fine. And what a great show.
Oh, brilliant.
Yes.
It's funny enough, Les Mis to me is my favourite, and every time I go back to New York or London, I go watch it. But my daughter, when she was growing up, Wicked came out, and she loved Wicked. And for her 16th birthday, so she was year 10, I said, do you want a party? She says, no, I want to go see Wicked, and I want to go to stage door.
Oh, right.
So I don't normally do stage door, but took her to the stage door.
Where is this, in Sydney?
In Sydney,
Oh,
and
right,
that's when
yep.
Gemma Ricks was playing the Elphaba, and Lucy Durack. So I took her around the back to stage door, and Gemma Ricks was fabulous. She came out and just chatting to everybody, and I said, "Oh, hi, this is Steph. It's her 16th. Oh, happy birthday!" And then she started telling stories about what it was like. She was brilliant. So that's what Steph wanted for her 16th birthday, was to go see Wicked. So musical theatre was great. So I love me, and there's a guy I really like in there. Is a musical theatre. Ramin Karimloo. You didn't know who he was?
No.
He played the leader of the Barricade in Les Mis' 25th anniversary concert. He also was cast as the original guy in the musical Love Never Dies, which was the sequel to Phantom of the Opera. I quite like him.
Oh, right.
Because not only is he in musical theatre, he actually does a lot of his own stuff, like bluegrass and things.
Right. Is he American?
He was actually born in Iran.
Oh,
Apparently his family fled when he was about 2 to Italy briefly, but then grew up in Canada.
Oh, wow.
But then has spent all his adult life in London, actually.
Oh, right,
so he's got a Canadian accent, but I think his kids have a British accent because all the work was in London.
In the UK. Wow. So what do you find your greatest challenge are with music?
The speed of the music.
Oh, right,
And the fingering, trying to get the fingering around, playing that quickly. Whether it's a short wave between my brain and my fingers, I don't know, but I just get sometimes it gets a bit quick.
Right.
I suppose maybe not confident enough with all my notes, but that comes with practice.
Well, yes, the P word.
Yes, I know, and I should do more of it. So I just find it a bit hard, but that's the challenge. But with the benefits of music, I found, in particularly, we've only gone back at the start of this year because of COVID, and it's so funny, the last 12 months I found my brain going a bit mushy. And it wasn't until it got highlighted when we went back a couple of weeks ago, that thinking about reading the music, following the conductor, counting, playing, and I just can feel my brain kicking back in again. And
What's happening here?
I know, I've got to think. So that was one of the benefits of all this, was going back to music and
being pushed, really, aren't we? I mean,
Yes.
at Group 3, we certainly are being pushed,
Yeah, and
especially with
making
these filming every week. You know,
Oh, I didn't take much notice of that. I was just, I was still so focused on what I had to do, forgot about the camera.
well, having the 2 or 3 pieces there that was set practice pieces,
Yeah.
was really good. Yes.
Yeah, but you've got to practice.
I know. And do you have any interests beyond music?
Yeah, I do. I love music, but I don't think it's the be-all and end-all. I do have other interests. I like my knitting.
Right.
I knit. I'm quite crafty, arty
Right.
crafty. So I do a lot of scrapbooking and making cards, and so I just find myself a bit arty fud, just as you said,
Good.
working with my hands, basically.
Fantastic.
Yeah. But I just find this whole band process is fabulous. I just can't recommend this enough.
No.
It's time for me, and I know in 30 years' time I can still play, and when my husband is retired, I go, see you later, I'm off, and I get it, and it's for me, and it's something I can continue doing.
Yeah.
And the fact that band in itself, the people who go are just so like-minded.
Anything else you want to add?
I don't know.
I think you've covered a lot.
I know. Yeah.
Well, we all know a little bit better now, so that's
Yeah.
great.
I suppose if they want to come talk, I don't know what else to say. If they want to come know more, come talk to me. Another thing I like doing is travel.
Oh, well, yes.
But unfortunately it's gone out the window.
Yes.
But yeah.
I think everyone's put their passports under the bed. And,
Collected a bit of dust along the way.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
No,
it'll come and
I
go.
like travelling as well.
Yes, I think that's always enjoyable.
Yeah, and going to different places. There's still a number of places I'd like to go to, but we don't have
Might be
to.
for a while.
Yeah, that might be another time.
Yes.
Another conversation.
As long as it's not another lifetime. That's all right. All right, well, that's it for us. So thank you very much for listening, and see you again soon.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark. Finally, I can see you crystal clear. Go ahead and sell me out, and I'll lay your ship bare. See, I'll leave with every piece of you. Don't underestimate the things that I will do. There's a fire starting in my heart, reaching a fever pitch, and it's bringing me out the dark.